My name is Hello, and I think as men, godly men, I think we all want to marry the right person. Whether God has the one right one, or there's more than one right one, or however you want to look at that. I think I don't believe everything in the Bible is true, but I do think that it can guide you in your life. So I've narrowed 10 Bible verses down about women, and it's like a guide for me to make sure that more than anything, don't get caught up with the wrong kind of women. And, it's not really hard for me these days. I'm 43 years old. I've been looking to get married to, for me, the right woman, or one of the right women, however you want to look at it, for 43 years, or, for my whole adult life. But the older I get, the more wiser I get. And I want to share where I'm at in my life. I've got these 10 Bible verses with a couple of questions after each verse. So, these are Bible verses that most women don't even acknowledge, but I do. And I'm acknowledging these Bible verses because I don't want to get caught with the wrong women. So, Genesis 2:18, it says, "The Lord God said, 'It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him.'" And a lot of women are always looking, for the right man. And, I can't say that that's wrong or right. I mean, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for a woman, but I can speak for a man. And what it says right here is that God said he will make a helper suitable for me, for him. So a couple of questions that I ask myself is, can this woman help me? And does this woman want to help me? So it's easy for me to see these days if a woman wants me to help her, because almost all the women that I come across, as bad as it may sound, that's what I get out of it, is they're looking for somebody to help them. And that was my flaw when I was younger, was I was looking to help them too. And I didn't understand the concept that I was actually worth as much as they are. So, can she help me, and does she want to help me? The first two questions that I need to ask myself. She passes those two questions, we'll go on to verse number 2. 1 Peter 3:3. "Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes." Pretty self-explanatory. The first question I ask myself is her hair color the same as her eyebrows? Because that's a good sign that she's taking care of herself on the inside. I mean, if your hair color is not matching your eyebrows, you're pretty much, to me, that means you're looking for something to make you whole, because you're trying to change your outward appearance to attract something. It's just the only way that I can see it. But if your hair color matches your eyebrows, that means that you're pretty much focused on the inside of your life. And how much jewelry does this girl wear? And is she looking to attract? Because jewelry is attractive. I mean, I'm 43 now, but I'd be lying. Even now, when I see a girl like with a nose piercing, or with some sort of jewelry in her face, that stuff is attractive. But again, is she trying to make up for something that she's lacking on the inside by having this jewelry? And I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself, and I can say that that's a red flag for me. Not that I don't think that she's pretty on the outside, but that, like I said, it's just a red flag. Is she trying to fix something that she's lacking on the inside, or is she, That's the only thing that's where I'm at with that. So after, she's not wearing a whole bunch of jewelry, especially on her face, and she's not trying to attract me to something to make her beautiful on the outside, then that's you're passing the second verse there. So the next verse is the very next verse in the Bible. It talks about your beauty shouldn't come from the outside. Now it says, rather it should, 1 Peter 3:4. Rather it should be of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. So is she taking care of her inner, is she beautiful on the inside? Is she trying to be beautiful for God, or is she trying to be beautiful for the guys? So a couple of questions I'll ask myself is this girl gentle? And I'm not even going to lie, I'm sensitive. I talk massive shit. I mean, I can hurt people's feelings. And I'm gentle most of the time, but when I need a gentle spirit to calm me down. And not to mention, this is, is this girl gentle, because I need a girl who is gentle with me, because I'm going to be all out of whack sometimes. And I know that about myself, and I'm going to need this girl to be gentle with me. Because if I get all out of whack and she gets all out of whack, then we're just a big, tornado waiting to happen. Who knows what happens, when you got two tornadoes in the house. So there can only be one tornado in the house, and I'm definitely that tornado. And I need a little gentle rain, a little gentle mist to calm me down. So is this girl gentle? And is this girl pretty quiet? I mean, like I was just saying, I can't have. I'm I'm kind of an introvert, but I'm also very emotional, and I need a girl who's a little less emotional. So, when a girl's quiet, that means she's in her head, she's thinking things through. And, I'm kind of like that when I'm by myself and I got time to do that. But, if I'm in the moment and I need her to recognize, or I'm about to snap and just, come to me in a quiet way and calm me down. Not that I need a mother, but I kind of need that kind of spirit to calm me down, a gentle and a quiet spirit. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 14:34 and 35. This is the fourth verse. Women should remain silent in the churches. They are not allowed to speak, for it is disgraceful for women to speak in the church. And that's the reason why I don't look for women in the church, because a godly woman isn't even supposed to speak in a church. And, I'm not saying that I believe this, and I'm not saying that I don't believe this. What I'm saying is that's the reason why I don't go to church. We got women teachers, women preachers, women pastors. Listen, I'm a man. I can't, honestly, I can't have a woman ruling over me. I'm that type of, that's my personality, is I'm the leader, I'm the man. I might be stupider than you sometimes, and I might be, overly dramatic at times, which is usually what a woman's role. She's pretty, a lot of women are really dramatic. Well, I'm kind of a drama queen sometimes too, and I can't have two, like I said, I can't have two drama queens in the house. So I ask myself two questions about this: does she want to get married in a church or outside? Because women aren't allowed to speak in church. And if she wants to get married in a church, and she claims to be a Christian, that's a red flag for me. Because women, it says right there in the Bible that you claim to believe that women aren't even allowed to speak in church. So, and I don't really want to get married in a church, because the church can be the church, and I don't want really any part of the church. My church is inside of me. That's my church. If your church is some building where you guys all meet, go ahead. I mean, if that makes you happy, go ahead. But that's just not for me. And I would like to get married outside. I like being outside. And so, does she want to get married in a church or outside? I already explained that. And does she ask me questions? Okay, because another part of this verse I didn't write down is, a woman is supposed to inquire of her husband things she doesn't understand. So, does she know it all, or does she ask me questions that she doesn't understand? So the fifth verse for me is Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So the first question I ask myself is this girl trying to charm me, and is her beauty in vain? Because a lot of girls are beautiful on the outside, but on the inside they're not really all that beautiful. And women can be charming. I'm not looking for a charming woman. I'm looking for an honest woman, a faithful woman, a loving woman. And the second question is, does she fear God? 1 Timothy 3:11. The women are to be worthy of respect, not malicious talkers, but temperate and trustworthy in everything. So the first question I ask myself is, does this girl talk about others behind their backs? Because if she talks behind others behind their backs, that's her personality. So, she's liable to talk. I don't want her talking about all my shit to everybody. Does this girl lose her temper easily? Like I said, I can't have her losing her temper if I'm going to be losing my temper sometimes. So it's got to be, she's the cold and I'm the hot. I can come down to cold, but I can't have you be hot because I'll get hot. I mean, I'm not saying you can't never be hot, but for the majority of the time, you need to be cold, because I'm going to I'm running on warm without you already. So let's go to my seventh verse is Luke 1:45. Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. So does this girl believe in me, the stuff that I'm telling her about my past? And can I make promises to this girl? Does she believe what I'm going to say about the future is going to be? Does she believe that I'm truthful about my past? And does she believe that I'm going to be truthful to her in the future? Okay. So Proverbs 3:15 is the 8th verse. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Okay. So the first question I ask myself is, do I love her more than the things in this world? Because if I don't, I have to be honest with myself and say, I'd rather be golfing than be with this girl, or I'd rather be playing guitar than be with this girl, or I'd rather be reading a book than with this girl. So I've got to be honest. Do I love her more than the stuff in this world? And the second thing is there anything or any person that I desire more than her? Is she like the thing that I desire the most? It's a simple question. The ninth verse is Proverbs 31:26. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. So, is this girl smart with her words? Or is she stupid? So the only question I need to ask is she smart? Because if she is, we're on the 9th question, and I'm like, man, she's smart. She's got all these, she's passing all these, and then I've got to the 9th question, and then, or the 9th, not the question, but the 9th verse. And then the second question of the 9th verse is this girl kind? Because I need a girl to be kind. So is she genuinely kind? Or is she fake? And the 10th question is, the 10th verse is Proverbs 31:10. A wife of noble character who can find? It's a question. She is worth far more than rubies. So the first question is the question in the verse. Is this girl noble? Noble means of good character. Does she have good character? And the second question that I ask myself, the 10th question, is this girl a 10? Is she a 10 out of 10? Would this girl do the right thing concerning herself and others 10 out of 10 times? Does she care about others as much as herself? And does she make the right decision 10 out of 10 times? Because if she does, that makes her a 10 in that way, and it makes her a 10 out of the 10 verses that I go through to look for a wife. So that's where I'm at, and maybe it helped somebody, maybe it didn't, I don't know.